Pretty quiet tonight, isn't it? Visuals clear on your end?
Crystal clear. Boring as usual. Another day of easy money, huh?
Anyway, pretty wild, huh? What we're guarding here, it's terrifying. Not because it kills, but because it turns people stupid.
Yeah, not dead. But imagine this. Can't work. Can't even talk straight.
Can't do anything. Alive, but basically brain dead.
And then there's that one guy, making a fool of people.
Exactly why this kind of stuff should never fall into the wrong hands. But tonight feels a little too quiet, don't you think? Get me central, immediately.
Easy now. Don't go doing something you'll regret.
I will make this world stupid, and I'll be the only one left who's still smart.
MSPP 11.0 Mental State Paralysis Protocol. The name alone sounds terrifying.
Do we know who took it?
Gan Arog, stateless terrorist, doesn't seek recognition. Money's not an issue. There's only one thing he wants, the device, and last night, he got it.
What's his goal? A city? A country? The world?
According to Intel, he wants one thing only, to watch the world fall apart, to make everyone stupid, so he's the last smart man.
Can we catch someone like that, quickly?
There's only one person I trust to bring him in.
Don't tell me.
Chief. He's the only one.